So okay, so how long did it take you to make this? Can I ask you that? Should I just get you in a call? Should we just do a Walt interview afterward instead of me like pausing every 2 minutes to ask you a question?
Yes!
We did just do analysis, but Walt is going to explain. So I went over like tournament from my perspective. Walt's going to explain what it looked like to everyone and also the other issues with the event, which I only kind of glossed over in my analysis. Yeah, it's a documentary. It is a little over an hour, so you better get settled in. If you got to pee, you better pee. Is this going to be emotional? Maybe. I think some people said they cried. So if you like crying, then watch this. If you don't like crying, just don't consume content. Yeah, also, there's some sauce in this, as it's saying, so make sure you watch out for sauce. Oh, snap. He's got a promo? He's got executive producers? Wow. Okay, so I've already got to say up front that Walt saw metagame and was probably like, yeah, I'm going to make something about this, like frame one. And it took him this long to make it because he had a team. That's crazy. That is also me, which is nice. Yeah, the blended. Oh yeah, well I think it's gonna be awesome, man. Thank you so much for making it. I watched your Axe one, which was really good as well. So thank you so much for just being an awesome part of the community and putting all this stuff together, man. Since before seeing metagame and executive producers are just Patreon supporters. Oh, interesting.
Having overturned 2006's
Look at all these
MLB
CRTs.
Las Vegas. Previously nicknamed the Super Bowl of Smash Bros. By Grantland writer Ben Lindbergh, 2015's installment of Apex was expected to kick off the calendar year with a bang.
Apex tradition.
It also, to be fair, it also was at the same time of the Super Bowl, which is probably easy marketing.
Throughout its history, it's been the only one that really gives all the Smash titles.
That crowd surfing.
You couldn't think of Smash while thinking of Apex.
And thanks in part to winning a spot at Evolution 2013, as well as independent filmmaker Travis Samox Beauchamp's The Smash Bros.,
Beauchamp,
the
French gamer.
Melee scene had been thriving, and it would certainly deliver a lot of hype. Each of the
You know what's funny? Melee did get the most hype at this tournament, but I think Apex 2012 was actually like the Brawl tourney. Like Brawl had, I think, more entrants. I think more hype overall. Apex 2010, I think it was kind of even. 2009, I think, was maybe a little more Brawl focused as well. So like, it wasn't a guarantee at the time that Melee was going to have more hype here than Smash 4. Or I think they had Brawl here too. But yeah, that's kind of cool.
The tournament would come off the back of the 2014 to 2015 Apex World Circuit.
I forgot
sponsored
they
by
had a circuit.
Twitch, a series of 14 qualifier events featuring a one.
By the way, this qualifier thing was announced, and I wasn't going to many tournaments, and they were like, you're going to have to win Skatar if you want to go. And I was like, guess I'm going to have to try and win that. And then I won it, and I was like, okay, I'm done doing qualifiers. So that was nice.
With all of these exciting things taking shape, you probably
Yay,
wouldn't think that
Nintendo.
the Apex series was also a complete and utter shit show.
It's Apex. You know it's gonna suck. Like, everything's gonna suck. Well, you're gonna go because it is the biggest tournament.
Some would
Yeah.
say the tournament was cursed from the very start, given its illustrious history.
As a result, he
Was this the start of Nintendo Melee? No, Evo 2013. Well, Evo 2013 was the start of the modern era of Nintendo versus Melee when they tried to keep Melee from being streamed at Evo, and then we all rioted and they backed down. That was when it kind of officially started. But yeah, also Alex Strife, as you could see from this headline that we just saw, he was sus.
immediately removed from Apex.
Definitely off to a
And by the way, just so you guys all know, it was not ambiguous. Like, it was very clear. There were so many logs. It was. But yeah, so I mean, I know sometimes people are like, oh, the information. No, there was information on this one. Yeah, it's pretty clear.
rocky start, and unfortunately, it gets even worse.
Snow may be to blame for the partial collapse of a parking garage in New Jersey. A plow operator.
And by the way, just so you guys know, I was right. We were right next to this. Like, the parking garage was next to the hotel. Like, we were right there. It could have actually happened to someone.
Jumping ahead to Friday, January 31st, the first day of the tournament.
So, yeah, I mean, the chaotic organization, TOs were actually optimizing and improving a lot at the time. There were some TOs, and I won't really name names because, I mean, I don't think that's appropriate here. But there were some people that just did things the old way, and this was kind of the old way in some ways for Alex Strife. I think he was like just trying to cost save is my guess. So he could like bring more sponsors in, bring more people in, because he like people, I don't know if they know this, but he spent his own money, I think, flying Armada to some of the Apexes. So that's part of what made the series so big. Because I think Armada probably might not have even come back to some of them, or at least like most of them, had it not been for that. So he was probably just trying to save other places. But yeah, Apex was an actual mess, and they're about to tell you something else that happened.
At 8:50 a.m., 10 minutes before pools are set to begin, the fire alarm is pulled.
The show has been canceled.
Everyone must vacate the premises immediately. I remember this.
If you have a room in the hotel, you can go to your room. If you don't have a room, you must leave. Everyone start moving towards the exits.
Enter the fire marshals.
Yep, that's
A
exactly what
routine
happened.
inspection of the Clarion following the alarm prank leads to even more bad news. Mike Donnelly, the Secaucus mayor, informed New Jersey.com.
Yeah, so I mean, I brushed over this when I was doing my analysis, but I was like, dude, this thing looks like it's going to be canceled. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. When the fire marshals were there, I was like, oh, well, this is just it. Like, I was in line, and I saw them doing this, and I was like, because I was waiting to get in because I had to play pools, I had to warm up, and I was like, oh, okay. That's fine. I guess I'm not going to be playing in this tournament. I'm going to go back home and work on things, but we'll see how that turns out.
There's a single aspect of event production that it did right. There's literally nothing was right.
And because of that, I do empathize.
Yeah, people were in the cold. My brother went to that tournament, and he had to just like walk through the snow to like a Wendy's or something. It was wild. There was so much. It was literally a snowstorm going on at this time. It was so insane. The way this got solved was so beautiful and awesome. This got saved in the coolest way possible. Well, maybe not the coolest, but one of the coolest ways possible.
If I could find us a venue or something, an alternative solution, would I be able to get like a quick amount of money dedicated to this?
So while this is going on, there are people. So I guess Walt's not going to talk about this, but like we're like in our rooms and we're not sure what's happening. There are people that are playing Smash Fest, but like sometimes the fire marshals are even like kicking people out of the rooms if there are too many people in the rooms. So it was just weird. That vibe was like so tense, and everyone just didn't know what was going to happen. And I was like, dude, people flew in from like around the world to this tournament. What is going to happen? It was so weird. So I remember being like really confused at this time, and like I saw like Twitter was popping off during this time because Apex was having updates. The account was, and then the TOs were all meeting, and I was like, like Sheridan was there, other Matt.Zeb, other good TOs. So it was. I was like, if someone's gonna be able to solve it, it will be these guys. So, and the Juggle guy, obviously. So like but I was, I had no idea what was really gonna happen. But yeah, it was very uncertain.
Is this something that we can do?
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone who saw it coming, the staff didn't see it coming. It's not staff's fault, it's the venue for lying to us. Thank you for being fucked up. We gotta make do.
A certain upgrade in venue quality, especially given the
the vans,
but still a venue that was almost 40 miles away from the original location.
What we found out is the Garden.
I forgot. Yeah, that's a good point, Webb. There were vans that were transporting players from one hotel to the next one. Because there were hotels that were now farther away from this place. Actually, this place wasn't that far, all things considered. But yeah, this convention center was awesome. Also, the Uber driver that I took to get there just kept missing the turn because it was very confusing. And so that costed us extra. But, whatever. It's not really the biggest deal.
State Convention Center would take our call. Like, as in, like, they're like, you're crazy. But we don't have the room booked this weekend. I mean, I guess.
Thank you to Twitch so much. We have secured a new venue if you have not yet heard.
So if you had redone the schedule, all of that would have gone out the window, and you would have had a repeat of every previous Apex event where people have to play in 3 brackets at the same time.
But a lot of people did DQ from this tournament because they couldn't all get over there. So they had that going for them. Yeah, I mean, dude, that freaking... We played longer days because of that, and we just didn't prioritize stream matches so much, and that seemed like that was enough. Yeah, so actually Juggle Guy said on Twitter, he was like, we could run this in one day if we had to, but it wouldn't be pretty. So that kind of lets me know that we don't have enough people at Melee tournaments yet. I need Juggle Guy to sweat when our attorneys blow up. Anyway, let's continue.
Time saves each wave added up to enough time.
No worries,
to
Walt.
be able to do this.
And thank goodness they did, because Apex turned into one of the most memorable tournaments of competitive Melee's history.
Dude, they were getting all of this done, and they were like, we have a convention center. This is our schedule. This is what we're doing. And it was so crazy. Like, everyone was so juiced. We were like, dude, we are so sick. We are able to get Twitch to help us. We are just making stuff happen. Dude, Melee, 3 years ago could never have done this. Melee 2 years ago, before Evo, never could have done this. Look what happened with Melee, man. Only we could do this. And it was so... We were so freaking... Oh, we were so juiced. And then there were TOs that were like, well, you shouldn't be happy about this because we only had to do it because of Alex Stripe being a dumb idiot. And I was like, well, frick yeah, but like, let's be happy. We did something really awesome here. It's freaking sick, man. It's freaking cool.
He's commentating.
He's not even commentating. He's laughing at you, dude. He's fucking laughing at you, dude.
Brandon, you better win this shit.
He can't
freaking Jawan, man.
I'm out.
Too busy laughing at you, dude.
Win. Brandon, you better win this shit, man. I believe.
I'm glad you believe in me, Jawan.
I'm a believer.
Or what?
Guys, no, it's not.
I'm not yelling.
Don't ha lower that shit. No. You guys don't realize I'm fucking out.
Jawan, stop yelling.
I'm not yelling. I'm just saying I'm out. Fuck.
Why are there stocks Kirby? That's a glitch. You can do it.
Shroom got smashed at the Foundry.
He gets so drunk there. It's awesome.
Shenanigans eventually spawned a tournament in his honor.
Yeah, Sora. I got drunk there too.
The singles, and I started to really enjoy playing. And then I just made the full-time switch.
They're not really sure how seriously he's been taking the game.
Take a shot with me. Oh, wait. Only drink if you're of age.
Good message. Good message. He does have a nice smile. That's what everyone was talking. They always talked about the. They did the shiny teeth meme with Dewan. Before Shroomed played HBox, I saw him and Kirby Kaze hanging out at the hotel hall I was on because I had to go pick up some more stuff for my bag, and they were like walking and talking Sheik Puff stuff. It was pretty cool. Kirby Kaze also asked me how to play against Yoshi as Sheik that tourney. I did not have much to tell him. I still would not have much to tell him. That character makes no sense. Kirby Kaze, I don't think he really plays now, sadly, because Kirby Kaze is awesome.
We have this saying back at NorCal, and it's bros before pros, because when you win with your bro, like, it's just like you feed off of each other's like good vibes, you know. So it's like nothing is like that.
His bracket would end up being an interesting one. After beating Zoo in the winner's side bracket,
yeah, the bro love's great.
On to arguably one of the biggest singles brackets.
Yeah, I mean the bro love is part of why I like teaming with Lawser so much. Yeah, I mean it's like winning with your homie feels so much better than just winning with a top player. Winning with a top player feels nice, but it's not the same.
No matter the day, I always feel like there's a chance that I can upset Hungrybox.
Well, let's watch the spacing here. I think that like Marth being able to keep Puff out is so huge.
That's the stop.
Well, look at this editing.
Oh my god, that is a punish right there.
Yeah.
Kevin had been working on the tippers for a while before that.
So important versus Puff. Like getting stage position back. Wow! How did he stop?
At the time, at the highest level, there had not been pivot forward smashes done against Puff. It had been known about for probably a couple years. The theory was there. No, the percents were there. It was already known. If I had been playing like Marth Puff, I would have been practicing that, but just rather play Falco. But yeah, it was really cool. That was a real innovation that took place there, and it really kind of changed the way I think people thought about. I mean, a lot of things changed. Like, you know, this is one of the things that changed the way people thought about Marth from this tournament, which is really cool. Shield dropping was becoming more and more prevalent. Yeah, it started like shield dropping was discovered in 2008 after Brawl came out, which was good for us. And then like only Axe and then like this guy from SoCal shield dropped. But it became more, it started being used in 2013 and it was becoming more and more prevalent by this time.
Showing that maybe a Marth can beat a Puff, can beat Hungrybox in 2015.
What a narrative.
It was theory crafted Marth beat Puff, but HBox destroyed all Marths.
Careless forward smashes will be. Oh! He gets the tipper forward smash! There was a NorCal chant!
Yo! That is the setup!
The crowd is going nuts right now! No one predicted this!
Yeah, Marth beating Puff, who'da thunk? Weird.
Had Hungrybox taken this set, the following matchup versus PPMD could very reasonably go either way. And as we'll later discuss, that could have drastically changed the outcome of this event.
That's an interesting point.
Just a
you
couple
made the
days
thumbnail.
after the end of Apex,
Great job,
he would
Dusty.
announce his free agency.
For years, he was considered, okay.
Yeah, AMSA was really rising up at this point. AMSA was, like, I think people were like, if AMSA's going to really pop off, this could be the tournament where he does it too. There were, like Walt is kind of setting up here, there were a lot of really cool storylines going into this. Shroomed with the character switch and having more happen. AMSA, I mean, I don't think people, I mean, Pew Pew U was, I actually tweeted, I'll say this, I don't know. I think Pew Pew U had a good shot at doing work going into Apex because I saw him doing better a month or two beforehand. I was like, this guy's putting in a lot of work, and I tweeted something about it. And it didn't. My tweet didn't get much traction, but I could tell that guy was getting a lot better. So it didn't particularly surprise me when he beat Hungrybox. Like, I was like, oh, that's really cool that he applied some of that stuff that I was thinking about. But I knew that he was just putting in the work, and I felt like he was hungrier for it. So yeah, I mean, I think that was a storyline, and then AMSA as well. So that, like Walt's saying, there was a lot of really cool stuff that was going into this.
In addition, AMSA would participate in a massive exhibition gauntlet through a handful of Melee's ranked players at the time, where he won
Solid such a good sport,
every
dude.
set.
He does actually.
Freaking
With the
AMSA,
set off
dude.
Mewtwo King at Kings of Cali 4 already on his resume, it was no secret going into 2015 that AMSA was good.
Oh, AMSA can't stream? He can. It's, he doesn't want to because of, the Japanese casual community is really mean to him when he uses, Slippy.
Space Animal players, Zoo, Lucky, and S.
Well, he tried to parry
who
it.
in the previous ranking year were placed at 21st. 12th,
That's hilarious.
3 wins.
At 5th place with a competitive 5-game set versus Mango.
No, he gets bullied
including a
because
rare
he
sight
uses
of a
Slippy
set
and they don't
where
want
the
him to use
crowd
modded
actually
stuff.
cheered against America's hometown hero. Author Edwin
Yeah,
Budding ranked AMSA.
yeah, that was wild that people cheered that much for AMSA against Mango. Like, AMSA just had that type of power. Playing Yoshi, being from Japan, being a nice guy. Like, people don't really cheer against Mango very easily, so that was crazy.
AMSA would leave the event as the highest placing competitor outside of the famed top 6, and he absolutely showed up at the biggest Melee tournament of its time. Not to mention, he also managed to place 9th in the Wii U bracket with some very exciting Greninja play.
I forgot about that.
AMSA was on his way to something great.
The god.
Why did Leffen know Yoshi? Because he mained Yoshi. That's which was cheating, basically.
AMSA placed right outside the gods.
Mango is easily, like, far and away the best player of the year. The thing is, going into Apex, it was tricky to evaluate his prospects.
I don't know if I would say Mango was far and away best. Like him and Armada were like trading tournaments. Like Mango may have won the biggest ones, but ones that were just behind that in size, like Armada would win, or Mango would win one weekend, Armada would win the next weekend. So I think it's a little different for me personally, in terms of how I remember it. But I mean, Mango was the number one, no doubt about that. It was just, I think it was closer than what he's saying.
In addition to exiting from Apex at 5th place, an all-time low series placement for him if we exclude 2010, where we saw Scorpion Master.
Drunk Scorpion
Mango
Master.
would also lose $1,000 to Leffen at the conclusion of their winner's side set.
I wasn't gonna say
now,
it.
You may be asking exactly why Mango lost $1,000. Going into 2015, it felt like all eyes were on William Leffen Jelta. He would exit the previous year.
I've never heard it said that way.
Impressive 4th place, which included his first ever win against one of the 5 gods, Hungrybox.
Oh! That's it! Leffen jumps out of his chair!
PPMD at MLG Anaheim.
He gets the SS, and Leffen takes it!
That was such a funny ending.
Mango at Beast 5 into Melee's exclusive.
At the only time he beat you.
But with his reputation becoming more and more well known,
we only played like 3 times, so
boss battle in
or
sight.
2 times, whatever. 3. Wait, are you a pro on Melee? Yeah. Yeah. Was that a church? That other one was, yeah. This freaking... How many views does this have? I'm gonna check. How many views does this... I'm gonna check real quick. How many views does the freaking rap have? Leffen diss track. $1,629,000. God. Oh, unbelievable. Dude, Chillin's so famous.
I beat Mango, I'm the favorite if he chokes. As far as Armada goes, I'll just wait till he's a host. Ain't no telling how foolish you'll be looking. Evidence does it, can't
we need you to rap this.
match is over, that'll be a cue to throw your controller.
Wes Balls' line, like the shining till you're crying. Someone just told him to say it.
A rematch between
someone told him to say it. I didn't know that.
And an old school rematch between PC Chris and Ken, where PC crowd surfed at the conclusion.
That was so hype.
It was to me. Oh no! Look at that.
Ken immediately poses for the picture, dude. This guy knows media.
Obviously, we didn't know PC Chris was gonna crowd surf.
PC's gonna crowd surf.
No.
As exciting as all these bouts
That was so funny to watch.
Shine the main event for the evening, a real no-nonsense grudge match between old Melee and new.
Coming up
once again, I'm just gonna say it again. This was not a foregone conclusion when the beef started. So everyone's gonna be like, well, freaking Chillin streams Mario Sunshine and Leffen is good with 40 controllers. Of course Leffen would win. It was different at the time. That's all I'm gonna say.
Why should I waste my time practicing against him? I'm gonna beat him anyway. He takes a game? Sure, he takes a game.
Dude, Leffen's trash talk at the time is so funny. It's like, well, my cost-benefit analysis has determined that he is not worth it, and yet we are still playing. That's weird. Dude, freaking... It was a funny time.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get him with those falling uppers. He's not really...
You think Chillin's got this? Yeah, let's go.
Take him out of his element. That's kind of my game plan. I got him with those falling uppers. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense, bro. And I kind of walked away from her like, all right, Chillin's completely fucked.
But the entire is when they finally heard the diss track.
For like a flicker, I was like, Chillin's going to win.
And this was a dream come true for me. I'd always played Smash on the side, but I was born and raised a rapper.
That didn't really help him win the set, though.
I think...
What was that from? I've never seen that interview. Oh my god, dude, freaking Chillin.
Not the favorite by any means, but
That's
people
so
thinking
good.
It's gonna be free for Leffen. Like they're sadly mistaken.
This is a pretty cool show, by the way, they ran.
While we were recording the diss track, a lot of alcohol. A lot.
And a 5-0 right now.
You drank a bunch of alcohol before this?
Not using this color fonts anymore.
Chillin might have gotten washed. After Chillin's departure from the stage, Mango would end up taking on the role of an Avenger at Apex. In true WWE fashion, he would enter the ring to challenge Leffen to a $1,000
This was so
match
hype.
if they met in the main bracket.
It just like there's no way. It's just so cool
before they started.
that he
and I
did
was just
that.
like, hey man, like, if like Chillin gets whooped, could you just like do something? And he said something like, "I got you."
Oh,
And that's
wow.
When he walked up and just challenged left into it.
Wow, good stuff, Gamer.
If we play in bracket, we're gonna put 1,000 on it. 1,000. 1,000.
That was so hype.
Cause Leffen 5-0'd me.
What is this?
I learned how to play guitar.
I never saw that either, I don't think. That's insane. Freaking chillin', man. Content master.
With a guaranteed 7th place finish. However, at
He fist bumps. Wait, he fist bumped M2K like he did me. Look at Leffen's fist bump. He does it to everyone. I thought it was just me.
With a guaranteed
Watch him.
7th place finish.
He just has his hand on the
However, at
controller.
Apex
It's so
2015,
funny.
all sets
I didn't know he did
prior
that for
to top
everyone.
8 were best of 3.
We have Mango versus Leffen in winner semis for $1,000.
Dude, the hype of this was just so crazy.
Forward air.
Wow.
Will Leffen become the first person in history to beat all 5 gods?
Wow.
And
Counter sucks.
play Mango.
He's not lose to anybody except the gods anymore, and like.
No, I think more than top 8 should be best of 5. Just depends on tourney schedule. But yeah, obviously, like, if you had top 64 be best of 5, that would be great. It just, you know, it's mainly tourney logistics. But yeah, the more best of 5s there are, I think it's generally better. But I also, I mean, I'm not, like, of the opinion that best of 3s shouldn't count or don't count as much necessarily. They're just different. But I think more best of 5s is generally better.
They probably rigged the bracket. Who knows? But him and Mewtwo King are winners' quarters lined up to play against each other, and
No one would have known if they rigged it.
the last god that Leffen has not defeated yet. So now it's the top 6.
This
Sinister
would be an
6.
achievement obtained only by a rare few in Melee's competitive scene.
Why was Leffen not made a god? So the god thing is a bit weird. So the god criteria was given to the people that were dominant between 2011 and 2013. They only lost to each other. They were clearly so far away beyond everyone else. The reason I think, Scar basically used the god terminology from Street Fighter to create a narrative for our scene and for the players to help keep people invested and make it easier to follow along for the Evo donation drive. The reason, was Leffen really good and did he beat all the gods? Yes. You could argue that because like the overall skill gap between the gods, and including Leffen and everyone else, shrank in the time it took Leffen to start beating us, that like it wasn't quite the same, that he wouldn't be a god. But really, I think it's more accurate to say that the gods were about that certain time period, and just like basically a time period. I'll just say that. But if you wanted to be more technical about it, you could. But I think that leads to a lot of confusion, and like some people are like, well, is Zayn a god or whatever? And I think, there's very interesting discussions we could have about that, but I don't really know if people can have them without a lot of nonsense thrown in, so I don't think I will participate in that. New crib looks nice. Thank you. Yeah, DJ. Was Leffen really ever the best for any given year? No. I was also never the best for any given year. I think there was a 6-month stretch where I was the best, but there were also less tournaments at the time and things like that, so you could argue that that is less meaningful than being like dominant for 2 months in a more modern era. Oh yeah, I guess I had another good stint in the first half of 2014, which mattered a lot more. But yeah, I'm not really trying to make an argument to say like Leffen is not good or anything, so I hope no one takes it that way. What's up, Yadwalk? What's up, Soul? Hope you're doing wonderful. Do you think about how if one neutral had gone differently, you never would have lost to Leffen? Yeah, I guess so, but I think if some neutral went differently, I would have lost to him at Apex instead, which would have been worse. I mean, it's hard to know what Zane's current rank is at the moment, but it's like, man, I think most people are pretty certain that it's either 1 or he's 2 behind Leffen. It would just kind of depend. HBox had a stint of dominance 2010, like through like a lot of 2010 after Pound 4. But yeah, anyway, I don't want this to be like a weird GOAT discussion, so I'm going to get back to watching this.
Single set win versus Mango for the entirety of 2014, but with a close 5-game set victory at the start of 2015 at Beast, it was looking like Leffen's time to shine. With $1,000 in cross-continental pride on the line, Leffen would take the momentum from his set with Mewtwo King and use it to
Shine so cheap.
dismantle Mango.
Yeah, if he does this, man, up tilt, not gonna.
Oh,
yes, it is.
Leffen!
What? Of all the ways for the set to end, and up tilt.
Leffen would ultimately exit the tournament at 3rd place,
up,
outperforming
Casper?
3 out of the 5 gods and following what many consider to be his true.
We all know
emergence
SFAT's
into
the GOAT.
pantheon of
True.
greatness. His sets versus Mewtwo King and Mango proved that while there might have been 5 gods, there was also a god slayer among them. Melee was now represented by its top 6.
Sinister 6. That's what we tried to say, but it didn't
everything
stick.
that happened at Apex, these were some of the event's greatest stories. But I think it's about time we talk about the 2 players who made it all the way.
I got chills. Good job, Walt. I got chills. And I just watched this thing recently.
He didn't lose a single set to a single player outside of the top 6, except for a few, and I mean a few, rare instances over an 8-year period. It wasn't always
What a
like
monster.
this, though. In fact, before Armada's dominance starting in 2015, Mango, an American, was the undisputed best player in the world. This battle of continents would spawn one of the most storied rivalries in Smash between Mango and Armada.
Yeah, America-Sweden was hype at the time.
In the summer of 2014, there was a new face at the top of the rankings over both of them.
Facts.
And it was another American by the name of Kevin PPMD Nanny.
That's me!
Before attending Apex 2015, PPMD had not returned to the competitive scene in over 5 months. But back then, he went by the humble tag of Dr. PP.
You're very humble.
Prior to this break, and much like some of the other Melee gods, Kevin had a period of dominance where he managed to win every tournament he entered for over half a year, starting in late 2013
I love that
and
empty hop.
extending to mid-2014, including a clean sweep to 1st place at Apex the year prior.
Oh, God, I love when I jumped.
Professional esports organization Evil Geniuses on May 9th, 2014.
I've heard of
where he
those
would
guys.
Officially swap his tag to PPMD. And after that, he'd win Skatar 3 in yet another dominating display, but he wouldn't be able to take home 1st for any remaining event in the year.
Evil Geniuses. I never thought.
Look how happy I am. Yay!
Smash major.
Yay!
Namely,
I want to do that again.
Finishes at MLG Anaheim and EVO 2014 would more or less wrap up his year with just enough evidence to place him at the top of the rankings for that one summer. Where PPMD placed 4th at EVO, Armada placed 3rd. The two were neck and neck, and they were set on a collision course for Apex 2015. PPMD and Armada would first meet.
Why do I keep getting hit by Peach?
Winter semis, where they would play an as competitive as expected 5-game set. PP would ultimately take the win and advance to winners finals, where he would face Leffen, fresh off a trailblazing performance versus Mewtwo King and $1,000 richer after his set against Mango.
The controller
Armada,
bomb.
he would first match up with Hungrybox, who had been
So
sent
funny.
to losers in the upset victory from QQU just hours earlier. But just as fate would bring Leffen to Mango for a $1,000 match, the winner semi-set between PPMD and Armada would not be the last time they'd meet at this
Ah,
Apex.
that's the emote.
This is a super tight battle net right now. He's got the. Oh, and the hedgehog.
I grabbed the edge before he got there.
Wow, the charge.
Oh, and
Leffen misses it.
going too low and the side B.
PPMD and another Apex gets himself right there in grand finals.
From winner's side.
Yes, sir. Oh, Armada with the slick movement.
Yeah. Wow. The stare down. Armada looking focused right now.
That's it.
I remember that apartment, Swan. If you think it's the one I'm thinking of.
Armada defeats Mango. Armada all over him. He's playing so aggressive. Wow, the shot. Oh, left in. Yo, PP versus Armada.
What did Mango say there? I mean, you can ask him, but I believe he told Armada to win the tourney.
PPMD's inactivity left many wondering what his future in Melee would look like, and Armada's flight in from Europe was initially cancelled due to the New Jersey snowstorm.
Oh, I didn't know
Luckily
that.
for them both, the two made it to Apex, and they would find themselves sitting together at the biggest tournament of its time. One more event to settle the score between rankings,
My mouth is
countries,
popping off.
and rivals.
All right. As they say, battle.
Armada went Fox Dittos against Leffen a lot.
Letting him back on stage. Really great wall space.
That's such a funny play. Nice fastball.
Oh, wow.
Mango-esque follow-ups. Whoa.
Seriously.
There, back air. Especially after, you know, winner's semis, they went to Game 5 in Falco Peach, and now you can try to get out of there, I think, and for good reason. Wow!
It's so funny.
Okay, yeah.
It's so funny every time. I love the music on this.
Okay.
That'll do it indeed.
And Armada up 2-0 in this first set. Wow. Crouch cancel shine.
Oh, what a good nair there.
Whoa! Yo, PP!
Okay.
So PP now poised to take the tournament if Armada doesn't play his cards right.
Oh, so close.
It looks like a very different set than a moment ago.
Oh,
wow.
That's a stock.
Oh my goodness, and that hurts
yes,
only me, dude.
Smiles, he laughs it off.
Oh, so funny.
I guess he recognizes that he needs to get his head in gear and not let that affect him. Wow, good air dodge from PP.
Look how close this was after that start, too.
Is that gonna close out the set?
Yes,
I think so.
Absolutely, unless he has a double jump. No way. We have a reset situation.
Oh my goodness. A matchup that we have seen.
Fire push-ups, will you do it? Not right now. After this is done.
And we are starting to see this.
If someone reminds me also.
In all forms of
I thought you said counter sucks,
assortments are kind of
except for when it doesn't. Nice
I
Phantom.
think this is, a lot of people are saying, you know, this is kind of the pinnacle of the modern era where people are really learning to develop their secondaries to, you know, face new threats.
Toph's commentary overlaid on this is really good.
Set 2. This is looking like a very different Marth vs. Fox team than the ones we've been seeing, but, you know, he'll take what he can get for the damage.
Wow, great DI after that. Soft up air, and PPMD still on the chase. That was so old school.
Armada has looked really strong at this matchup until this set, but all of a sudden it seems like he is just on a tear. With some newfound confidence, I'm not sure.
Missed a shield drop.
Wow, the pivot grab, up throw, down air. And that's difficult to deal with too because Marvelous with his grab range. Oh my goodness.
That's a stock.
That'll do it. PPMD is up 2-0.
Good read. And not yet.
Wow. The up B, such a clutch move from PPMD. I think that was the only thing he could have done. Is he going to get the tournament?
And PPMD from Evil Geniuses is our first place Grand Finals Super Smash Bros. Melee champion.
Apex 2015.
I'm lucky people have cared about this so much.
It's only fitting that PPMD stood atop the mountain of one of Melee's greatest tournaments. As the now overwhelmed Apex 2015 champion, Kevin Nanny would hold his head in his hands and soak in the moment. Despite the long break from Melee, many were happy to see PPMD's run, and Apex would end up becoming one of his most famous performances ever. PP would enter a few more tournaments through the remainder of his 2015 and his career as a whole. 3rd place at EVO 2015, 1st at Canada Cup, 5th at Smash Summit, 6th at Genesis 3, and wrapping his singles chronicles up with a 10th place at Battle of the Five Gods.
Oh, I got 10th?
But nothing could quite compare to the magic at Apex
How'd that happen?
2015. One person represented an entire country and showed the world what it had to offer.
So this will be his highest placing in any national.
One person turned competitive Melee into a high-stakes spectacle.
If we play in bracket, we're gonna put 1,000 on it. 1,000. 1,000.
One person solidified his career as a Godslayer.
Levin has made history.
One person would dominate the competitive scene for years to come.
Man, Armada has really just...
And the community showed its strength in making it happen at all.
He's taking
He's really put some distance between himself and everybody else.
Oh, yes. Yeah, yes.
And
Kodak.
one person kind of became a pop culture icon.
Chillin'.
Welcome back on in. Appreciate you.
Bobby.
But at the top of all of these triumphs, we have Kevin Nanny. Apex 2015 was the last major tournament PPMD would ever win. It will forever be a moment of glory, especially given his personal struggles, shared with the community that helped crown him a champion one last time. And just look at what a small mark his victory left on this beautiful and breathtaking piece of history.
Last time for now, not the last time forever.
That happened to be, I guess maybe the right place at the right time in terms of being able to like take a situation like that and turn it around.
Dude, you were trending on Twitter. How does that feel? It's trending above the Super Bowl for a little bit. It's so amazing.
I don't remember. I didn't remember saying that.
Most hype event.
I did trend above the Super Bowl. I was saying that on my analysis thingy. How did you find that? I don't know how you found that, but I was. That was so insane. The amount of memes and virality and just everything from the tournament, I was so overwhelmed from all of that. It was so cool. You know, I didn't ask for that. Obviously, I just wanted to play the game, overcome myself, connect with people, and then I trended above the Super Bowl. Neat. It was also like way after the Super Bowl was done, so that impacted the analytics. But you know, we take those. So I actually didn't know that the TOs learned things from that, and things happened from this event that set up success for us in the future. That, man, what an important event. I always knew it as an event where, like, yeah, things were kind of bad and we rallied, and then, you know, I was able to win, and then there were some important things with that, but that was it. But I didn't know it had so many other positive effects. I actually would be really curious to learn about that, but that's really impressive. Oh, wow, Walt. I didn't know any of that. Yeah, TOs are incredible.
The thing like is blowing up so much, and it's what I love, man. I think people need to think about that more when they talk about, like, you know, what really makes you happy. Because like you can go to your 9 to 5 and you can be miserable. You can make your money and then come home and be like, wonder why I'm not fulfilled. So I'm gonna tell other people they're not fulfilled for doing what makes them happy. I'm doing what makes me happy, and if I end up going all the way with Melee, there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm just gonna try and figure it out.
Also with streaming in the modern era.
There
but,
has never
yeah.
been a tournament with more history
I love Melee
and heart
more.
behind it than Apex 2015.
Yeah, do what makes you happy,
It will
goobers.
be remembered as simultaneously one of the greatest tournaments of all time, alongside one of the scene's greatest failures, and for that reason, I have no idea how this tournament even happened. I mean, how does the Smash scene always find a way? How is it humanly possible for this community to make the most out of a completely terrible situation? They do forget that it still ended at 3 a.m. since Sunday's schedule went...
Yeah, that was terrible. That was like 3 or 3:30. That was brutal.
So long
that was so brutal.
Everyone stayed. Like, everyone knew we were in the middle of something like historic.
It's safe to say that Apex did not go
That
even
was so hard to
remotely
play
as
through.
expected, but this event was a blessing in disguise. And that's all attributed to the sheer tenacity of the Melee
Yeah, Walt does a
community
good job
and their
here.
ability to band together in the face of a catastrophe. Everything that could have went wrong did. Every event planner's worst nightmares all came to life, but Melee persists. Instead
Look
of
at
receiving
Samox.
one of the biggest blows to our community, we got a new venue, a hell of a lot of memorable performances, and history in the making. And if that doesn't make you proud, hell, I honestly don't know what to tell you. There may never be another tournament like Apex, but regardless of what happens in Melee's future, we will always have its past. And damn, did Apex really give us a past to look back on. It was truly a remarkable event that I don't think anyone could have ever seen coming. Honestly, to whoever pulled the fire alarm that day, you kind of made history too.
Good job, fire alarm guy.
Interacting with each other, but
some of those guys in North Carolina, by the way, popping off.
Through it all, we're left with some really great stories that we otherwise would have never had the chance to see.
God, so freaking late.
Not been shut down by the fire marshal, and that's pretty damn special. Expect the best, plan for the worst, and prepare to be surprised. Simple enough.
Yeah, USA holding it down.
And I'll do it again, too. There's Karn, by the way, if you guys didn't see him.
Are they gonna? He dropped a bomb on us. Melee HD is coming.
Oh my god!
Man, I forgot about that.
Fat sandwiches.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when we were located at Rutgers, when they were using the Rutgers venue.
Everyone loved
Are
those.
You hungry food trucks half a mile away.
Yeah.
Massachusetts area. So do you call them hoagies there?
Get the fuck out of here, Walt.
I don't call them that.
How dare you?
How is wait? This is what you decided to leave in. Well, you left in your argument with Matt.Zeb about hoagies and freaking sandwiches and fat sandwiches at Apex, but you left out the way in which Apex transformed tournaments for years. That this is your priorities, Walt. You're the guy, you're the documentary guy. Look, I'm just saying from my perspective, seems odd. Just a little odd. Right? I'm sure it is important. So let's see where this goes.
But they do.
No. No, they just called them fat sandwiches. It was a food truck. Are you hungry? And it's like RU, like Rutgers University.
Yeah.
More important, do you want to explain your reasoning?
It's one of my favorite tournament stories.
Oh, he's got a bunch of funny stories.
I was spectating the doubles match, and they turned to ask what the counter pick should be.
Oh,
and
no.
I was super confused. Like, wait, why are you asking us the counter pick? We lost. And it turns out that they teamed with the wrong Fox.
Oh my gosh.
No way. That's so great.
That's really good.
Is that set on YouTube?
It's not.
He was already looking for it.
Hilarious.
But it was very memorable and it was cool. Something only a young Blur could do. I don't know if old washed up Blur could have lived through that weekend. I don't think
freaking Blur with his Z button off in Narnia. Yeah, who knows if Blur could do it now? He's lost his marbles. But young Blur, when he was still trying to get his chops, Prime Blur, he could handle it.
So, just thank you to everybody who's ever loved Smash.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Goes to all of my patrons who make
Kadoran's a patron? Let's freaking go, Kadoran. Putting the team on his back.
If you'd like to see more documentaries like this, please consider supporting me on Patreon or check out
alright. Freaking, what is this, a shill? Nah, freaking sub to Walt's Patreon. We got his Patreon. Can someone get his link to his Patreon, please, so we can put it in chat? Yeah, what's up, dude? What's up, man? Hey, thanks for just agreeing to be on stream with me despite no prior warning or planning at all.
Oh, of course. No, you actually caught me at a really good time. I tuned in like when you started streaming, and then you started watching the video, which I thought was hype, and I was just leaving work, so I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like by the time you're done with the video, I'll get home, everything will be great.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, this was awesome. This was great. It's really cool. Even the story of you making this sounds interesting, right? Because you made it. What it sounds like is you made it before Metagame came out. Before you even knew when Metagame was going to come out, you started working on it. What kind of got you into that? What was there anything that like prompted you thinking about it, or how did it happen?
You know, it's funny. I actually just had a call with someone for a podcast last night. A quick shout out to them. I think they're called the Bottom of the Smash Mountain podcast.
Good luck to them.
Like a pretty new one that just came out, and he was asking me about the video also. And
are you tired of talking about it?
No, not at all. But I mean, it was interesting because like a good and bad feeling, you know, because I like for something like this, it was the big thing for what I wanted to do with the channel was eventually like pivot it towards like the goal was to hit an hour for a video, at least an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's like I got close with the Axe video, but I was like I can't really.
Why did you want
like 9 more minutes?
Why did you want an hour?
I don't know. I think it was just kind of like a cool milestone to be able to say like this is actually like a feature length like film of sorts.
Do you think it makes you better as a person and creator than Summoning Salt?
No,
because his videos are never an hour, and so you are beating him by that metric.
No, I don't think I could. Well, okay, so big number means better YouTuber,
yes,
right?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That now I know you're gonna make it one day. You're gonna make it for sure, man. There it is.
No, I mean, Summoning Salt is. Am I allowed to curse on this?
Yeah, you can curse.
Okay, Summoning Salt is fucking excellent. Like I love his content. People like very misguidedly compare me to him, and I'm like, no, dude, it's not even close. This guy's incredible. I don't know, he's amazing. But
you watched his you watched his recap, right? His Road to Million. He started out and he was getting like 2 views on his Punch Out speedruns or whatever. So
yeah, I mean, you know, I saw that and I messaged one of my my marketing buddies who helps me with kind of like cool titles and stuff, because I think like one of the worst feelings is if you sink so much time into like a really long video like this and then you title it bad and YouTube doesn't really help you out there, and then it just kind of flops.
That's rough.
I saw the video from Summoning Salt on his recap to 1 million, and I texted him and I was like, yeah, I got to do this at some point, like whenever
when you said texted him, I thought you meant texted Summoning Salt, and I was like, wow, you really are clouded up.
Oh no, I don't got it like that. Don't worry.
Not yet. The collab in like 3 or 4 years. It's coming.
Yeah, I'll shoot him a DM. Just
there
shoot my shot, see what happens.
Send it, brother.
But yeah, no, the hour was kind of like the time frame where I was like, oh, I really want to hit this.
Mm-hmm.
It'd just be cool because like, you know, I watch tons of videos and, you know, content on whether it's YouTube or real TV on Netflix or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And just that kind of like felt like a really comfy spot in terms of like I can reasonably call this like a feature length type piece at this point.
So you consume documentary stuff a lot, and so you're just like I want to be part of this thing that I love a lot. I want to create this.
Yeah. I mean, with Summoning Salt, super influenced by him for sure. I think it's kind of taking like a microcosm of what he does and then just bringing it to Melee.
Wow, that's really interesting.
So
yeah, he's creating a lot of things even indirectly for us. That's really cool.
Yeah. So, you know, huge shout outs to him. The big thing was kind of like getting to that time, and I had like a whole list of running concepts that I wanted to start on like pre-production for. And I want to say it was like, it had to have been in like October or November, where, you know, I had it written down like documentary on just like Apex and like the ones before. I don't know if you've seen like some of the earlier like quote unquote docs or mini docs that I did on the channel, but they were kind of like focused on a singular moment almost, with the exception of the Axe one, which was just like his whole history.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of them.
Yeah, so like I had on my list like Apex, and I was like, oh well, shit, how am I gonna? I guess it's gonna be just all of Apex, right?
Yeah, there's no way you could make a documentary about just one Apex. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah. So I started like kind of writing out my scripts, like getting everything going. I didn't really reach out to people for interviews because I didn't know if it was going to go in that direction until probably like December or maybe even January, I want to say. But then, you know, I kind of put that on the shelf because the Axe video was coming first, and I was kind of helping out a lot with 5 Days of Melee in December. So all of that stuff kind of like took up all my time, and then next thing I know, I watch Metagame, and there's an entire segment on Apex, which was not really unexpected, but I was like, oh well, damn, like I don't know if I can even do this anymore. Because like,
so you saw that
I can't compete with him. Like,
oh, interesting. So what made you decide to keep going?
I think it was kind of I brought it up with a few people because that's like a really big fear. Is like, you know, you spend a lot of time and then someone else makes it, and you know, it's kind of like I think every creator can bring a different perspective to the table.
Sure. I mean, what Sandbox always says to me is he says, I want to tell stories that haven't been told. And I imagine that's something that you really care about as well. And then you see the story gets told as you're in the process of making it. I mean, that's got to really put you in a tough spot, but you made it anyway.
Yeah, for sure. It was kind of like the big thing for me was when I eventually reached out to, you know, the Nintendo, Blur, Juggle Guy, Matt, Gimmer, and Sheridan. I think those were the 6 that I specifically spoke to. Huge shout outs to them, by the way. They're just excellent, and it was a really great interview with all of them. It really helped like tie everything together.
Yeah.
I think like the general theme across all of them were like there's a lot of kind of behind the scenes stuff, and then like the way that I was structuring it when it came to specific player storylines, like really diving into like Shroomed and Pew Pew You.
Yeah, I mean, you ended up covering things that Sandbox didn't cover at all, and I think
so it was kind of like,
it was like
making it unique enough that.
Yeah, I mean, you really you enhanced everyone's understanding of that period, and even people that were around back then, they're learning things about it. So in a way, you know, there were some things that overlapped, of course, but you know, you really gave more context, and you did even more to show why so much this is meaningful. And I mean, imagine, right, like people watch Metagame, and then, you know, like especially after Metagame goes whatever streaming platform it goes to, or whatever it does, then people want to learn more maybe about that or about something else. And I mean, you know, what you're kind of setting yourself up for with this, and especially with your other things, is kind of like setting up yourself as a landing page for the other storylines and other things. And I think that's really cool, man.
Sure, yeah, I appreciate it a lot. So it definitely means a lot coming from you too.
Thank you.
Obviously, big fan. Side note, actually, I think I might have met you like many years ago.
Did you? Where?
Because I lived in South Carolina for about 5 years. So I went to a few events at like UNC. And then
in Chapel Hill.
I actually, I don't think you were at you weren't at Olympus, but Twitch was there.
Yeah, my brother was there. Yeah.
I actually was running the stream for that event.
Huh. You've worn some different hats in your day.
Yeah. I wasn't going by Turn Down for Walt back then.
Do you want to say what your old tag was? Were you degenerate? Were you the famed Slam It in Me Oni-chan? Come on, look, it's fine, it's chill. Everyone thinks it's cool. No one's gonna judge you. You're Walt now. Everyone knows. But like, if you were Oni-chan, I think people want to know. They deserve to know.
So it's funny because I made a video because I don't play that often. Like I just kind of consume content, and I've been watching Melee for a really long time.
Sure.
But my first real tournament I went to as Turn Down for Walt, and there's an answer to this that I'll get to.
Okay.
But
sure.
The first real tournament I went to as Turn Down for Walt was Big House 8, I want to say. Mm-hmm. And then basically like Big House was the tournament I would play in once a year. So I made a video at one point that I go through like the tournament brackets, like the projected matchups, this, that, the other thing. And I added in a line that was like, I'm also entering this event and I'm projected to go 0-2. But I was power ranked in South Carolina once back in the day, which I was. That's not a lie.
Yeah.
But because I had a different tag, people got like super heated about it in my comments, and they were like, "I lived in South Carolina. This guy's full of shit. Like, what the fuck is he talking about?"
Oh man, were they blow you up on Reddit?
I remember I made like a like the YouTube premiere where you can do like the live chat alongside.
Oh no.
And people were in the chat and they were like, "Dude, I live in South Carolina. This guy is Cap right now. I have no idea what he's talking about."
Oh my gosh.
But my tag back then was Action Hank.
Action Hank is a good tag. That's a good tag.
And I was the best Mario main in South Carolina. I remain to be a very painfully average Mario player even today. So
honestly, I respect you for sticking to it. That is not something I could do.
I need to talk to you actually because you started with Mario, right?
I did, and there was actually a Mario player from South Carolina that actually I played with a lot, and he wore a Mario hat, and he comes into my stream sometimes. This guy, Musical Mike, and we just loved playing Mario Dittos, and we loved listening to the wave dash and jump noise of Mario. And we said we were using our woo power, and it was not a very thought out or elaborate theory, but we liked it, and we liked playing Mario Dittos. So I love the character. I loved a lot of the feel of him. But what did you want to ask me about it?
How to be good with him.
Yeah. Okay. So
if the answer is Switch, then
no, I won't do that. I won't do that. I mean, you've seen like Mango's Mario is able to beat like very, very good people. I mean, if Zane is like beating top 20 people with Roy, should I say you shouldn't play Mario? No, it's like you could beat most people with Mario. So I'm not going to tell you to switch. Live your dreams, gamer. Mario can at least let you do that. If you played Bowser, I'd be like, yeah, it's going to be tough, man. But Mario's okay enough to where you can do some things. If you want to play Mario better, up tilt's okay at being an anti-air. Your main thing, like getting close, doing like a jab down smash first grab for a second jab mix up is going to be good. And then your main thing, if you learn nothing else about Mario, if you learn to hit forward smashes, you're in really good shape, because that's going to beat crouch, that's going to get you kills, that's going to beat out moves because it's disjointed. It's like one of the things that he has that's like just way better than Doc. So abusing that's really good. So I think if you can do that, you'll be all right. And a lot of the Mario thing that's been good for about 15 years in my estimation is wave dash back forward smash. So yeah, I mean, if you just find ways to hit that, and sometimes you wave dash forward if you're feeling kind of saucy because maybe they move away from you, right? Or you wave dash back and they're like, "Oh, I'm not coming in," so then you go get them, right? Like it's very very deep stuff when you're playing freaking Mario. This is kind of what you have to think like. But yeah, I mean, I don't have like a secret technique or something like that. Like I mean, stuff like landing late back airs will help you against crouch and stuff like that. But like that kind of minutia, like I could tell you a ton of things like that, but I don't really know if it matters so much as like the fundamental solid. Like I can tell you things like, oh yeah, I mean, Mango will do like full hop forward air, and he's able to do it in a way that beats crouch and that kind of stuff. And like I can tell you that, but like, is that as important as being able to hit forward smashes? And the answer is no. And so if I want to give you the most value for your Mario game, that's what I'm going to tell you. So,
I mean, I feel like I have just been enlightened in those short minute of conversation, so
yeah, no worries.
We'll see how things go. I might be reaching back out to you at some point for that.
That's fair, man. That's fair. Again, if you're gonna put your patrons in the credits, you got to start putting me in now, though. I helped you with Mario. I think that's only fair.
That's true. Yeah, I might as well just do that. Actually.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, no one in the live YouTube premiere chat's gonna blow you up. You are the turn down for Walt, so they can no longer do anything. So you're good, man. Yeah, I guess the only other thing is make sure you up air them out of the air, because that'll lead you to a lot.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but you probably already knew that, so I figured. But yeah, anyway, I got your back, man. Yeah, also, I guess I wanted to say, thanks for making this, because like I was saying when I was watching it, I didn't know that this event did so much. Like it's still weird to me, like. Even as a player, people will say, this is my first tournament I watched, Apex 2015, and it really meant a lot to me. And I'm like, okay, well, like I'm sure people say that to Mango about one of his Evo wins or some of Armada's wins or whatever. and I was kind of like, that's probably just like pretty typical. But like, the more I think about what you put out and what Samox did and other things like that, it seems like there was something that was very special about this event. And I think you did a really good job of, convincing me that this was not just like some other major, or not even like some of the other wins that I've had, that this was really something special in itself, which means a lot for me personally. And so I want to really thank you and honor you for taking, all the time and certainly effort and resources and whatever else it took to make that. So thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for, all the kind words and everything. This is like, I think that's the cool thing about YouTube in general, is that it's very iterative, and things kind of like build on top of each other as you get more experience. But far and away, this is my favorite project by like a large margin at this point.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And it's crazy because it was kind of like, again, the amount of time that went into pre-planning, pre-production, all that jazz. And actually, fun fact, the I joked about this in that podcast I mentioned earlier, but it was probably the worst decision of my life to work on specifically this video, because I had kind of made a couple things like in the interim, like as I was building this thing up. And then I was like, yeah, I'm going to release merch at the same time as this. So it was kind of like a combination of, let's make an hour and 15-minute long video and then also launch merch at the same time. But there's like, I have to figure out domain, I have to figure out designs, like actually creating the website and stuff like that. So like, there's a world where the doc could have been done probably a month earlier, but then I just was like dumb and decided to do something else at the same time. But yeah, I mean, again, either way, I'm super happy with how it came out. It means a lot to hear from you that you're impressed with it, and that, you know, you think that it's you know, serviceable as something to represent the history of this game. That's really awesome.
Yeah, no, I thought that was really cool, and I liked a lot of the different highlights you had on like the players and the overall community. Because I mean, there was a time where I would pause and I'd be like, yeah, I mean, shout outs to the community too, and then because I didn't know if you were going to talk about that, and then you did for like 2 minutes later, and I was like, oh, that's really nice. I did want to ask. I mean, I did meme on the hoagie thing, but I actually was legitimately curious, because it sounds like you do know what were some of the benefits that came to the community, like from TOs or whatever from Apex 2015. You can just give me like a couple or just one.
Yeah. So I mean, I got to sell out a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. The big one that comes to mind, which I just didn't really have a ton of time to fill in, because it was from I think Nintendude talked about it in our interview, and then briefly Robin might have as well.
Robin being Juggle Guy, by the way.
Yeah. Nintendude actually tweeted about this a few days after I posted the video, once he kind of had a chance to like watch it in full. But the big thing was that actually the beginning of the relationship with Gaming Generations, the CRT provider, came from Apex 2015 as well.
Wow.
And the funny story that Nintendude had told me was that you know, because this was the first major for Smash Wii U, it was also the first time that Smash as like a esport had worked with Gaming Generations in terms of providing setups. So they got a bunch of brand new Wii U's with like monitors or whatever they used at the time for the event. But because they were brand new, and because they were getting like new consoles for every event, I guess, that was running, none of the consoles or setups that they received for Apex had any save data on them. So one of the nights before, apparently, and this is like this crazy thing that, you know, Nintendo can speak more succinctly on it than I can, but I guess like a night or so before, they get like all these volunteers to basically be like, we need you to just go through the motions and unlock every character and stage for like legal stage list.
I vaguely remember this. Yeah, you can copy it. It's not like Melee where you just stick a memory card in or you just copy data.
Right, yeah. So I think it was specific for like the Wii U one, right? Because every console had a different save file.
Yeah.
But like it was the same for 64, I guess to a lesser extent for GameCube, because you could just find the memory
card
eventually.
I think that event was big for 64 too. I think they made some changes to the community after that event too, but I don't remember that.
But that's the big one that sticks out in my mind, is just kind of like the literal hoops that people ran through, aside from the fact that, you know, the things that everyone knows about, the venue broke and all that jazz.
Venue machine broke.
Yeah, so that was a big one. The Gaming Generations relationship, I know Juggle Guy spoke a bit more specifically, and, you know, again, I cut it just for the sake of not going super deep into it towards the end of the video, but Juggle Guy talks about how kind of like the early onset of Smash GG began there, which is insane.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, that's right. I don't. Do we know if that was because of the event? Like there was just so much attention on it, or he didn't say.
I'm trying to think, because I think I spoke about it with Juggle Guy and then Blur, and I want to say there was a discussion with the name of the person escapes me right now, but there was a talk with someone who kind of ended up becoming a founder of Smash GG.
Right. I vaguely remember this.
Yeah, and it was kind of like, hey, we can't really do like paper brackets anymore, or like challenge or whatever. And it was kind of talks just basically on how to make events run more efficiently.
Oh,
Obviously,
and they were thinking.
case study.
Yeah, I mean, they were thinking about how to run events better after that, so that makes sense that encouraged it. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then like the
and now Smash GG
kinda...
is sponsoring the circuit.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
So there were like stuff like that. There were a lot of cool like you know, I know Matt briefly mentioned Shine kind of came as a result of it. Genesis from Sheridan became a thing kind of because of that as well. The biggest thing that kind of rang true with every interview I conducted was this was probably like the first time that it was really like a collaborative effort from tournament organizers to like make this event actually happen. And it was kind of like from that point forward, this like hive mind of ideas like really became a thing, and that's what really kind of sprungboard Melee into like bigger popularity than what it already was back then.
That's cool, man. Well, that's awesome. That's wonderful, and I really hope that video sees this documentary sees the success and everything to pay back all the work, and I think really care that you put into this.
Thank you, man. Yeah, and I did make a few mistakes, so in there, and I admit when I make my mistakes in there. There was one that was I'm losing it right now. It was actually related to that question you had asked me earlier. But there were a few kind of small errors. If I think about it, I'll DM you later or something. But it was just I think it was probably again easily my favorite project by far. It was really cool to kind of see, like, for me, I've been spectating Melee for years, probably since the game came out. The competitive scene, I've been at least a watcher, so I knew about Apex going into making this video, but I did not know about Apex in terms of all of the crap that everyone had to go through to make this happen. So
that was it was wild at the time, and I think you really brought back like how wild that was, like having the footage of the fire marshal. Okay, party's over. Like, yep, we were partying here. Thanks, man. It was good. It was well done. And then the footage of me saying I was trending above the Super Bowl, I was like, I don't even remember who I said that to. But yeah, that was fun.
I think
man.
It was in Zoo's video, because Zoo used to do like
Zoo was doing a lot of content.
Coverage. Yeah, back then doing a lot under Smash practice. He did
that, and then he did the one I remember most from him was "Let Me Play a Friendly" or whatever. Because he parodied that song. Let me take a selfie instead of "Let me play a friendly." It was really funny. And so I love what he was doing. So maybe he did that. But either way, I mean, to hold on to that memory of that for so long is still impressive, you know. So I mean, again, I just want to thank you for all that. Are there any shout outs you want to give, or there anything else you want to say about the project? Any final words before I let you go on my cut stream?
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't say it enough. Like, I have so much respect for you just as like a human being.
Oh, thank you, man.
So
thank you.
I'm excited to see you kind of like doing your thing on Twitch. I hope to see more of it, and if you ever want to do kind of like a content collab, maybe coach my Mario someday. But
interesting.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think in terms of the channel, like, again, I can't overstate it enough. This Apex was just like a beautiful event overall. It was a beautiful disaster. Just, I don't know how the hell it happened still, even after this video has come out and explained most of it. I think there's a lot of cool stuff coming for the channel. So in terms of like,
so what should they do? What should they do if they want to find more of your cool stuff?
Are you really gonna make me do this?
What I don't know what you mean. I just really want people to know, if they wanted to know where to find more of Turn Down for Walt. One word. What would they do?
Yeah.
Where could they find you?
Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. So thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, because if they just see you on my stream and then you're gone, and it's like, one thing. But if they find you and they were to, I don't know, follow or subscribe,
that would
actually become a patron, it'd probably be easier to know when you're going to do more, and then that would benefit Melee more. But I don't know. I mean, what do you think? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it would work?
give me a second to just think it over.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, hang on. Let me get into character for this one.
Okay.
Oh, hey guys, how's it going? This is Turn Down for Walt here. Just thanking you guys for watching the video. If you want to see more of my content, be sure to check out youtube.com/turndownforwalt, twitch.tv/turndownforwalt. We stream every so often to the Mix Up Melee podcast whenever we're able to do it. Patreon.com/turndownforwalt if you feel like giving me money, or turndownforwalt.com if you feel like giving me money in exchange for a t-shirt. That'd be pretty cool as well.
Everyone likes shirts.
And then socials are, twitter.com/turndownforwalt, and I use Instagram, and I made a TikTok, but I'm a boomer, so I don't know if I can really do that.
Heck of TikTok.
You do have one?
No, that's what I was saying. Heck of TikTok. I don't have one.
You should make one.
I should.
I don't know. It's like the trend right now.
I know, it's so cool. And then you're gonna tell me to make a LinkedIn, and I'm like, all right, that's too far. I'll do TikTok.
Well, LinkedIn means you're really a boomer. So I'm gonna steer clear on that one for you. I'm not making a Turn Down for Walt LinkedIn. I'll tell you that much.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
But yeah, man, thank you a lot. I appreciate you just impromptu inviting me onto the stream.
Yeah, man, I thought it'd be
hope
fun
to be in touch soon.
Yeah, for sure. We'll figure something out. I think it'd be fun, man. And really, really glad to see your rise in the scene. And thank you for all you do, man. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you as well. Take care.
See ya. Hey, thank you for being on, Walt. It was a good time, man. I'll message you on LinkedIn for Mario coaching rates. Yeah, man. Make a documentary of your journey to acquire the Mario dub. I believe in you, man. You'll just be the face of Melee soon. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that was fun. It was a good time. Favorite non-gameplay memory from that event? There's one thing I really want to talk about, but I think it'd be better to save it. There is one thing from Apex that I'm surprised no one has ever asked me about, especially now that Metagame's out, or after Metagame's out. There's a question I'm so surprised I haven't been asked yet, but maybe I'll just wait till that question's asked before I'm talking about it. It's so hard to remember all that stuff from back then. The interview I gave with that guy that Walt used, not the one where I was saying I wasn't happy with my play, but the other one where I was like, you should pursue your passion. I really liked it. So I booked myself for several interviews. I like doing interviews because I like talking. So that interview with that guy was pretty good. Hanging out with my manager and I got along really well. So that was fun. Those would probably be up there. Thank you, Walt, for making the video. High quality, really. I learned some stuff and I felt some things, which was nice. Still haven't cried on stream, getting close though. I'll get some tears out of you eventually. Walt, I am a stoic streamer, man, who has never cried in his life. So probably not. You probably will. I'm a crier. Bye. 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 I'm clicking the button now. Bye.